Hey up, it's that old Yorkshire geek here, and it's Friday, which means it's Star Trek Picard Day, and it's Season 2, Episode 5, Fly Me to the Moon. Why is it called that? No idea. Because there's no flying and there's no mooning in it either. So anyway, so we'll crack on. I've got it on me Amazon Prime. Hang on, let me mute it. I've got the subtitles on, and we shall go. A CBS, come on, press play, that's it. A CBS Studios production, and here we go. We're having the recap. Yeah. The ship's cloaked, even though there's a big gouge in the earth. There we go, Chateau Picard, all abandoned. It's not being stripped by, robbers and stuff, because, I suppose France has its fair share of bad uns. If you see an abandoned house somewhere, all windows are going to be smashed, and all, it'll be everything of value will be stripped from it, won't it? But no, it's got a shotgun. Anyway, I'm waffling. Looking at Laris here, because we see not Laris in this episode. Remember, he met her at the end of episode 4. This woman that looks like Laris, except she's obviously not Romulan. Rios has, been arrested by ICE. ICE baby. They're obviously evil, and they're going to take him back over the border, 10 Forward Avenue. Why she called it that? Is it just a massive coincidence? And there's not Guinan. Because she's not Guinan. Oh, there we go. Adam Sung. Obviously, that's not Adam Sung. That's a statue of Adam Sung. They're showing us that because we see Adam Sung in this episode. Q's lost his powers, or some of his powers at least. Looking for a watcher, supervisor, also known as a watcher, and then he sees not Laris. There she is, looking very lovely. But we know pointy ears, and there's some sort of transporter that looks like a box of smoke. Right, we're off. Right, warning, 1202 alarm. I'm sure that's got an Apollo thing, because they got an alarm, didn't they? I don't know if it was 1202, but they got an alarm, didn't they, on Apollo 13, I think. But it were okay, they could carry on. And this, that was that young woman, apparently, that were reading the book that Q couldn't do anything to. Right, we're in not Laris's apartment, and he keeps calling her Laris, even though it's obviously she's not bleeding Laris. You need to get some either some glasses or some Retinox 5 for your eyes, John Luke. So he's remembering Laris, and he's thinking, hang on, she ain't got pointed ears or Romulan eyebrows. You're not Laris. No shit, Sherlock. I might be swearing a bit in this episode because it's doing my head in. She's got a gun that's a bit reminiscent of Dr. Soren's gun and Star Trek Generations. Right, we're back to this. Oh, crack, I did that wrong. We're back to this young lady astronaut. Having some sort of problem. They keep cutting backwards and forwards. Jonathan Frakes directed this, for crying out loud. It's supposed to be good. Anyway, it turns out, I'll skip to the chase, that not Laris, she's called Tallinn or something, I don't know, and she's a supervisor, just like Gary 7. Picard even mentions Kirk's Enterprise with Gary 7. Anyway, this were all a simulation, that this were Rene Picard, one of Jean-Luc's ancestors. I think she's not a direct ancestor. I think she's like some great aunt or something like that. She's not his grandmother or all like that. Anyway, Tallinn's saying that she devoted her entire being to protecting one individual, and this is Rene Picard. Not Rene Picard, who died in a fire with his father, Robert. Obviously, that's a different one. Couldn't they think of another name? Or did they just go for the member berries again? Yeah, I think that's what they did. So like, trekkers would be going, oh, Rene Picard! That's, there we go. That's a name from Star Trek Star Trek Family, Next Generation Family, and mentioned in Star Trek Generations. Right, we're on to the credits. Yeah, so anyway, she's called Tallinn. She's like Gary Seven. Don't know how Picard had just immediately recall Kirk's Enterprise Gary Seven, because I don't know. Because never been mentioned since the episode Assignment Earth in the original series. But obviously he's got good recall as old Johnny. Anyway, so credits. I'm trying to think of something to say. What else? There was something I was going to say and I can't remember what it was. Because I'm hopeless and I don't take notes. I've watched it once before, and obviously, and now I'm watching it again. I should really take notes, but I'm an idiot. Then I forget. Anyway, I'll have a sup of my coffee while the credits are rolling. You know, one thing that saddens me more than anything is that Eugene Roddenberry is a producer on this, and he defends Kurtzman Trek to the hilt, and that saddens me. That saddens me. It's like the current generation of Tolkien's, don't seem to care about, J.R.R. Tolkien's legacy. They're just in it for the money. Or they seem to be. And I think that's the same. I think it's the same with Eugene Roddenberry, to be honest. I think he's just in it for the money. Because Kurtzman Trek is bloody awful. Now we're back at Chateau Picard with the cloaked ship, except it's not really cloaked, it keeps uncloaking for some reason, but it's unexplained. She's lonely, silence is so loud, so she wants, basically, she taps into, I think, like local telephone lines and stuff like that, so she can hear loads of voices. So she's like creating her own internal hive, isn't she? All these voices that she can hear. It's like a simulation of the hive for her, even though she has no control over it. But then she finds she can she's trying to tap into the local cell phone tower networks. We call them mobile phones in the UK, but they call them cell phones elsewhere. And she's trying with different voices, they're not recognised, and she eventually tries Rios's voice, and then that's recognised. Unlocks the ship, basically, because she wasn't in control of the ship. Now she is completely in control of the ship, because she can imitate Rios's voice. Not very good safeguards there, were there? Right, she's pretending she's been attacked. She's speaking French, which I actually expected them to speak English, to be honest. But fair enough, they're doing it in French. They're sending an officer to investigate. And Chateau Picard must be pretty remote, because the officer goes on about it. Anyway, we're back to this bus, and that Rios is on. Sorry, Brios is on. There he is. And Raffi says they want to beam him out, and 7 of 9 says no, they can't, because that'll screw up the timeline. Why? Why would it screw up the timeline? But now they've got to hijack the bus, so she used like an EMP pulse. This road here, is conveniently empty. And remains conveniently empty for the duration of the scene. Unbelievable. Couldn't even get a few extras in the cars just to drive about. No, they had to have it completely empty, so there's no witnesses. Well, not even any cars going the other way. There we go. EMP pulse or something of that nature makes the bus stop. Brios obviously must be able to know that it's an EMP pulse just by everything just stopping. Not that the bus, the bus could have just broken down for all he knows, but no, he knows it's an EMP pulse. Speaks in Spanish, tell the others to be ready, because he's got friends that are going to save him. Like they just beam him out. It'd have been a mystery, wouldn't it? It'd have just disappeared in front of everybody, and it'd been one of these mysteries that never gets solved. And Robert Stackard had been on the TV saying, "A man disappeared from a prison bus in front of everybody tonight on Unsolved Mysteries." But no, they had to make it even worse for the timeline because they've just set a busload of, basically illegal immigrants loose. I mean, that's what they are. They might be lovely people, but they are technically. Right, she thinks she sees Elnor, and he'll have called him Elrond, but no, it's not. Because she's a crap Starfleet officer. How the hell did she get to be a commander? No idea. Tell you something, 7 of 9. Sorry, Annika Hansen is a better Starfleet officer than Raffi will ever be, and she's not even a Starfleet bleeding officer. Anyway, these two hug as though they've been best mates for life. But he saved him, I suppose. You know. So there they go. So there's all these, they just let everybody loose. But it's okay because the authorities are evil. Even though the timeline hasn't diverged yet. It bloody has now, hasn't it? Now they've done that. Keep talking about butterflies. They can't affect the timeline. She just bloody affected it. Just released 10 or 12 people that were supposed to be going somewhere else. You know, if they hadn't intervened. Anyway, whatever. Right. Anyway, so we're back here. She's talking about. Still waffling on about how she's looking after Renee. Here we go. Renee, the bestest ever. The girl that is the key to everything. You know, they've got to have that in every single thing these days, haven't they? The girl that's the key to everything. Anyway, she's in apparently she's in some sort of counselling session. She has suicidal thoughts and she has anger management. This is another thing that Patrick Stewart wanted included. His abusive father and people with anger management problems. By the age of 11, chess, fluid dynamics and Cantonese, university at 16, then a couple of years as a test pilot, so is that 18? How do you get to be a frigging test pilot at 18? God knows. Some people have said 14, but no, it's university at 16, then a couple of years as a test pilot. But you know, she's the bestest ever, as Doomcock would say. There she is. Speaks with an English accent, even though she's French. Obviously, the French. Oh no, he said into the Picards had gone to live in England, so they must have lived in England for, you know, it were after the Second World War, wasn't it? So they must have lived in England for whatever, 200 years, 300 years, and then moved back to France. But yeah, they're on about the Europa mission launches in 3 days, and Europa mission was a pioneering space flight in my history, Picard says. And then Gladys says she's not sure she's going to be on it. So does he know that she's supposed to be on it? He's just saying it's a pioneering space flight, but does he know one of his ancestors were on it? Anyway, Picard's outraged because she's peeking in on a therapy session. This is private. She goes, yeah, so what? Their job to watch you. Picard gets suspicious of the therapist who's got this, stereotypical German accent. And we're learning that it says there Dr. Wallace, but it's not Dr. Wallace. So anyway, so is this? We see a different angle, and Picard sees that it's Q. Dr. Wallace is Q. So I'm presuming that this is the first time that Renee has been to one of these sessions with, you know, I'm doing quotes, Dr. Wallace. And you think if it's something to do with NASA or SpaceX or the European Space Agency or whatever, it must be something like NASA or SpaceX because it's in America, isn't it? So Pardon me. Ooh, I can burping. Pardon me before I burped. Anyways, he's a bit cross because it's Q. Anyway, right, Dr. Sung. Another one, there's Leah Thompson, who directed the previous 2 crap episodes. And there's somebody called Rozhenko. I'm sure it's an ancestor of Worf's adopted parents. And there's another Sung, Adam Sung. You know, they all look exactly the same throughout history, don't they? They must be clones of each other. Because they're into genetics, aren't they, these early Sungs, before they move into positronics. Is it positronics? Yeah, it is positronics, isn't it? And there's Soji, except it's not Soji, it's called something else. The previous girl who was the key to everything. And he's told him that meeting he were at, they've rejected him and taken away his funding because they're idiots. Anyway, apparently she's his daughter. I don't know if she's his actual daughter because she asks about her mother. They were back at the meeting. Apparently he's been doing illegal research using soldiers, genetic research, and that's against the something or other accord. And to be honest, if this were me writing this, I'd have said it's to do with the eugenics wars. They never mentioned the eugenics wars, although the word eugenics does appear on the video screen very quick. Blink and you'll miss it. But they should have mentioned the eugenics wars. Because in this timeline, they're supposed to have happened already. And Khan's gone off on the Botany Bay, hasn't he, by this time? Anyway, whatever. Right, she said she wants to learn to swim. It's just better than learn to swim in a bit. It don't work. Take the blood test of her. Testing his research, and it doesn't work. Whatever he's working on. She's going to die. Apparently, sunlight affects her blood, and she dies in the sun, basically. There's Leah Thompson saying, you've been running genetic experiments with privatised military organisations on ex-soldiers, unmonitored and unregulated. So why aren't he being arrested then? They've just taken away his... if it's illegal and against some, international convention, they just take away his funding. Why don't they have him arrested? The Shenzhen Convention. I've always got to mention Chinese stuff, haven't they? Because this is the time. This were made when China were. We thought China were going to be in everything, which they were for a few years, weren't they? But now they seem to have backed off a bit from Hollywood, anyway. Computer beat right. Somebody's hacked his computer with his snazzy curved screen. Right, the word eugenics pops up among that in a bit. Right, checking his 3D printer, because, must have a 3D printer. He's got a Stargate background there, a bit looks. There we go, some sort of card. At first, I thought this symbol, it was like some stylised Vulcan Idic symbol. See what I mean? But apparently it's a Q. Apparently it's a Q, because Q has got to have a calling card with a phone number on. Why didn't it just appear to him? Has he lost all his powers? Don't know. Anyway, this French copper's here. Gendarme. This gendarme's here checking out Chateau Picard, and he says he hates the countryside, so it must be miles from nowhere, which they're using to explain why nobody saw the ship crash. But they still would have done, wouldn't they? You see meteors and stuff that you can see them from hundreds of miles away from where it touches down. But anyway, says the house is abandoned. He don't notice that Agnes is asleep on the couch in a minute, but he does notice the cloaked ship decloaking slightly in the vineyard. So he's French, you see, so he's obviously got a smoke, because all French people smoke. Must be it'd be camels. It'd be camels is smoking. I bet. And there she is asleep. And he's just like I think he's just gobsmacked at this invisible ship. He's probably thinking it's just like that ship on Star Trek 4. Because Rick and Morty exist, so why not Star Trek? In this universe. It's gone inside. They must have left the door open, obviously. That's stupid, aren't they? Just left the door open. The entryway, gangplank, whatever they've got. Here's somebody calling out, a woman saying, "Help me! Help me!" It's a horrible ship, isn't it? It's horrible. I'm sorry, set designers and stuff, but you've made a horrible spaceship here. It is. It's ugly. Right, there we go. Sees the Borg Queen, and he's like, oh, cry, falls over with shock. Which I suppose you would, wouldn't you, really? I suppose you would. She says, my hero. And I thought she was going to assimilate him here. Some tentacles come out. Here we go. Don't look very Borgy, that tentacle to me. But anyway. Shows it, let's say up close, it looks a mixture. It's not like, a mechanical thing. It's like a mixture of, which is Borg, I suppose, of mechanical and organic stuff. Right, has gone to meet Q as Dr. Soong, who looks exactly like all the other Soongs. And he drops an F-bomb in a minute, because it's Picard in Kurtzman Trek. You've got to drop F-bombs, because Star Trek's for grown-ups now. Tut. Anyway, he's saying, he thinks he's a crackpot, like all the others that contact him about his work. There we go. Rich heiresses who want me to clone their effing cats. I'm not swearing. I'll try not to swear. So they said, don't waste his time, and Q says, I wouldn't think of it. But he talks him round anyway, basically. Tells him he can save his daughter. Daughter / genetically engineered organism, I don't know. She asks about her mother, but he don't elaborate. Then. So I wonder if all my ancestors looked exactly like me. Because all the Soongs look exactly alike, don't they? They keep mentioning butterflies. I am Death, the Destroyer of Worlds. That's cute, isn't it? Quoting Oppenheimer. Well, who was quoting Hindu Sanskrit texts about Shiva. Anyway, he's talking about her daughter, saying no, she doesn't have much time, and then he gives him this little vial, which actually looks like a bullet to me. Are they using that as a, is it a magic bullet? Is that what they're trying to tell us? But we'll get it out in a minute. Because basically there's a lot of talking. They do a lot of talking and waffling. A bit like Moon Knight the other day. There we go. Bullet shaped, look. Why is it shaped like that? Don't know. Magic bullet. They don't actually say that. But that's the what they're trying to convey. Talon says, if Q's so all-powerful, why don't he snap his fingers? And Picard says, he don't know. Because the Q's lost his powers. Don't know why. Because never lost. Well, I say he never lost his powers in Next Generation, but he did, didn't he? But only when the rest of the Q had taken his powers away. No external force could harm the Q, could they? But now, obviously, something can. Anyway, Picard says they've got to stop Renee from quitting within the next so many hours. And there's a gala. She's going to a gala. All the astronauts go. Pardon me. Before they go into quarantine. Attendance is mandatory. Oh, crikey, excuse me. I've just eaten a big bowl full of porridge. I've always got an excuse, Anna, for burping. Sorry. Anyway, they're going to go to this gala. But I've got to get in touch with the crew. It turns out this gala, technology in this 2024, remember it's only 2 years from now, it's supposed to be, sort of in our timeline, sort of, but the technology is like far in advance of what we've got now. You'll see in a bit. Anyway, the Borg Queen's talking to Agnes. I presume it's in her head, she must still have Borg nanoprobes running about inside her. Which she should have, because she was basically assimilated a couple of episodes ago, wasn't she? There we go, that shotgun. Why is that still there? And why is it pigging loaded, for Christ? Ooh. It's loaded, and it works. It's been there since, World War II? It's been there for 70 years. Still works. Never been cleaned or anything. Unbelievable. See, I'd have thought she'd have assimilated him by now. I thought that they'd have been, going all Borgified, but no, they can't do that. Because that's what Star Trek could do. And this isn't Star Trek. She's talking to Agnes, saying she's alone all the time. Whatever timeline she goes, she's alone. That's her fate. Forever alone and invisible. But the Borg could change that. And what's going to happen is what I predicted, I don't know, 2 or 3 episodes ago, where Agnes is going to become... She's going to assimilate Agnes. And Agnes is going to become the Borg Queen, essentially. Even though she won't look like her. She'll just look like Agnes. They won't stick all this stuff on her. Because they haven't got the budget for it. Only budget enough for one Borg Queen. So I was expecting that gun to not work. Which would be sensible. That would be the sensible thing. She'd pull the trigger and nothing had happened. Because how does she know how a shotgun works? She's from the 24th and 25th centuries. Probably haven't seen a firearm like that before. She's used to phasers, but she's not even used to that. She's a scientist, isn't she? So she's not used to weapons, full stop. But no, she can wield a shotgun. Because everybody can wield a shotgun, can't they? Guinan wielded a shotgun as well. Unbelievable. Anyway, the stuff worked that Q gave him. 100% effective. So he's thinking, we can save his daughter. / genetically created. Look at that. 2024, 2 years from now. Some sort of drones with force fields coming out. I hate it. Why don't he? It's sunny, he's got his sunglasses on and a hat. Why didn't he just do it inside? Just inject her inside and then go outside and see if it works. And if it don't work, you can run back inside again. No, they've got to have all these elaborate things. I've said there's no budget. Obviously, budget for that crap, haven't they? Pointless, stupid crap. They don't make any sense. It just cost money for no reason. Right, so she's injected herself. Obviously, they must think it works instantly. Because, you take an aspirin, you've got to wait like 20 minutes for it to dissolve. But no, this works straight away. Sends them drones away. Where do they go? No. Don't know. Sun. She's cured, look. I can feel the sun. I'm going to go swimming. Somehow I've learned to swim, even though I've been in the house my whole life. I went to swimming lessons for years when I was a kid, and I still never learned how to swim. I can't swim. I just sink. I have to panic in water, I do. But no, she's perfectly fine. Look, blang. Blah, 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 blah. She's in the water. Look, she can swim like a duck. Look, she knows what to do. Because she obviously taught herself to swim by reading books or watching videos of people swimming. Yeah, you might say, oh, some people can naturally swim. Was my mother a good swimmer? Yeah, whatever. Then they do more talking, and then she's gonna start freaking out in a minute because the stuff wears off. Just waffling again. She's asking who this colleague is that give him the cure. But now, oh, cracky, something's going wrong. Oh, look, all the veins are sticking out. Get her inside, then. Never mind your bloody drones. Get her inside. Oh, God, it's stupid. It's only a wisp of a lass. You pick her up and take her in and just drag her in, grab her arm and drag her in the house. No, that'd be assault, wouldn't it, I suppose. Right, so she's got control at ship back. She's beamed everybody back. Or most people back. Apart from Picard and not Laris. And she says, I've just killed our only way home. There you go. She shot the Borg Queen with a 70-year-old or 80-year-old shotgun that still worked and that had been sat there for decades. With no maintenance. What? It says mostly alright, but his spleen's in the box over there. You know, what? Was she kidding? I don't know. Seven's basically telling us she did the right thing, killing the Borg Queen. Several billion souls would agree with her. Oh, there they go, they've appeared out. The box of smoke. Suddenly they think they're dragging a dead body out the ship. Except he's not dead. He's just partly assimilated, but not, because Agnes cured him. Except for his spleen. It's stupid, I hate it. Somebody else sleeping on a couch, because people like sleeping on couches in modern Star Trek for some reason. And Q's there, look. Did he invite him over or did he just appear? Don't know. He's saying, does he have the cure, that lasts? Don't know how Q came out with this cure. There's obviously no Q powers, or doesn't seem to have. Or does he have, minimal powers? Or is he just really clever? I mean, we know he's quite clever. In Next Generation, he showed he was clever. When he didn't have any powers, he could still do stuff and work things out. So maybe he worked out the cure because he's super intelligent. But it don't tell us or show us. We've just got to assume it. Because that's the mystery box of J.J. Abrams' acolytes. They're all part of the mystery box. You don't have to explain everything, which means they don't explain anything because they're lazy. Now they're talking about this gala that they're to go to. It'll be in a minute. Q's trying to talk Renee out of going on this mission, and apparently when she goes on the mission, in history showed that she discovered a microorganism on Io, even though it's the Europa mission. She discovered this microorganism on Io that might be sentient, and they brought it back. Don't know how that helps history, I don't know. Plus it buggers up First Contact, doesn't it? First Contact was supposed to happen in 2063 with the Vulcans, not some sentient microorganism. Yeah. Maybe it wasn't sentient, she just believed it was. So basically, Q's trying to stop her from doing that, and they've got to make sure she does. So how does this how does her going to Europa mean that the Earth doesn't become a totalitarian nightmare? Don't know. And they won't tell us. They won't explain why. They won't. All that matters is that it's Q's fault. Renee's the bestest ever. They've got to make sure she stays the bestest ever. And they've got to go to the gala and talk to her or whatever. Right, maximum security function. Each guest is issued a radio frequency invite. Right. That stored in the database with their entire life history, for Christ's sake. Alright, see, fair enough. I'll let them off. I'm going to play Hummer about this, but Tallin's technology can get them in. But once inside, the facial recognition takes over. And if they're not in the database, they get arrested or whatever. So Tallinn can get her in, but then once she's in, she's got to be caught and get to a computer and hack the system. I don't know. That's all the others. So hack the system so the others can get in. Yeah, inject our IDs into the system. Basically, they're doing a heist, aren't they? It's Ocean's 11. Ex-spy. When was Raffi an ex-spy? When was she a spy? That's news to me, is that? I thought she was a Starfleet commander. Anyway. You know what? Are they playing Fly Me to the Moon? I honestly can't remember. Let's have a listen. I don't know. Right, they've asked to see. Oh, crikey! They've asked to see a form of ID of Jurati. She gets a driving license out somehow that must have been made for them. Must have replicated it. And here we go. Here's Agnes's. Bloody hell! She has a magnificent cleavage, doesn't she? I'm sorry, I'm a man and I notice things. There's Renee. She's obviously troubled. She seems a bit mental, if you ask me. I'm sorry for being blunt, but she doesn't. How would she become, a senior astronaut going on a critical mission to, far across the solar system? This is 2 years away. They haven't even got to bloody Mars yet, and they're sending her to Europa. I don't even mean back to the moon. I know it's an alternate type Star Trek and it's different. Obviously, we haven't had eugenics wars now, have we? But they have in this. Anyway, they've spotted her of the cameras. She's talking to us. There's a woman in the red dress that's talking to herself. So they're going to take her away. See the plate music again. Obviously, I can't hear it. The first time I watched, I couldn't remember what. I wasn't paying any attention to what they were playing. She looks very familiar. I've seen her in something else, and I can't think what. What have I seen her in? I'll have to look it up after. Bloody hell, Agnes. You're making me stir. Hey. Anyway, see, she's hearing the Borg Queen's voice there. She shot the Borg Queen with a 70-year-old shotgun. The Borg Queen's dying. But before she does, she's done a simulator. She does a simulation tubules come out of her fingers. Out the ends of her fingers. Not out of her the top of her wrist like they do in regular Borg, or the knuckles or whatever, come out at the ends of her fingers. And it's like she, I think she's basically just putting her consciousness into Gerati, because that's all they know how to do, innit? They put Picard's consciousness into a robot body. Now the Borg Queen's putting her consciousness into Gerati. There we go. Because that's all they know how to do. Rinse and repeat. That's all they know how to do. There we go. And then obviously she's not there. She's not there, putting her hand on her shoulder. It's, in her head. In her head. And that's it, I think. Yes, it is. That's it. That's your lot. Another boring, poor episode with badly worked out logic and bizarre technology. But then again, obviously, it's the more technologically advanced than we are now, even though it's technically supposed to be, us. But obviously it's not, because they've got super ace drones and force fields. They even have force fields in bloody Enterprise, which is set in 2152 or something, wasn't it? I don't know, first season what. They didn't even have force fields then, because they didn't have shields, did they? And all that. They got I think they got the shield technology off the Andorians, I do believe. Even Vulcans didn't give us that. Anyway, so they've got that. What else? Hang on, let me just stop that. There we go. What else? There's no mention of the eugenics wars, and although the word eugenics did appear briefly on the screen of Zoom's computer, it was just boring. It was boring. The bus scene was stupid. They should have just beamed him out. And it had just left a mystery, an unexplained mystery, along with all the other unexplained mysteries we have in the world. Fair and and that had been it. Man disappeared from a bus, vanished before people's eyes, unexplained. There you go. Unexplained. But no, they had to stop the bus, make everybody escape. They could have been murderers or whatever. Those people that escaped, who were supposed to be taken back over the border to Mexico, could go on to mess up the timeline. Butterflies. Keep talking about butterflies. The butterfly effect. The shotgun. Why is it there? I know it's supposed to be in the middle of nowhere, but nowhere's in the middle of nowhere these days, is it? Especially not in France. Not in Europe. In Western Europe, nowhere's the middle of nowhere, really. Unless you're up in the Alps somewhere, top of a mountain. But it's not. It's in France. It's a vineyard. It's not in France. It's in bloody Southern California. It's San Fernando Valley or something, isn't it? It's probably where they filmed it. Well, then that's probably just filmed in a studio, isn't it? That's just cut to the chase. Anyway, I'm waffling. So again, not a very good episode. So we'll leave it there. Next week, I don't know how many episodes is left. I keep meaning to check how many episodes there is. I've heard there's 8, so we're on episode 5, so that means there's just 3 left. So anyway, I don't know if there's 8 or 10 or what, I don't know. I hope it's 8 and then it's over and done with, isn't it? So we'll leave it there. And until next week, it's not getting any better, is it? It's not. So until next week, I'll see thee.